Well, friends, good morning. So I want to draw our attention back to this gospel you just heard. This dynamic that's unfolding between the apostles of Jesus and these supposed others who are successfully driving out demons in Jesus' name. And these guys are like, what is with these guys? Like, they're not with us. You hear this dynamic, this us versus them dynamic happening, right? Who's in, who's out. And they're like, shouldn't you stop them because they're not with us, right? That's what they're feeling. Now, look, I don't know. I feel like I must have shared this at some point already while preaching to you here up in Lakewood. But there was a period of my life, a period of time in my seminary days where I was intensely interested in apologetics. Studying apologetics, and I just was chomping at the bit for the Lord to put a Protestant in my path so I could debate them. Like, Lord, give me a Jehovah's Witness or something. Give me a Mormon to convert. Put like a Presbyterian in front of me, Lord, at the checkout counter. Like, I just was chomping at the bit, wanting to kind of have some theological debating. It was very tribal and immature, I'll grant it. Thanks for not judging me. Okay, so it was very much an us versus them. I'm right, they're wrong, right? So that was in my mind thinking about this gospel this morning because I was flying back from, 2 or 3 weeks ago, I was flying back from a conference down in Florida, and I was sitting next to this guy in the plane, just struck up one of those very pleasant conversations. You never know how those conversations are going to go with a stranger on the plane, and we had this extraordinary conversation. We were talking about all sorts of things, talking about culture, talking about politics, policy decisions, values, the importance of the family and marriages and religious liberty and all these things. We got into the topic of the ethics of AI and all this stuff. It was a really fascinating conversation. So nearing the end of the flight, we got into the topic of, so what do you do? I'm like, well, I'm actually a Catholic priest. He goes, oh, that's wonderful. And I said, what's your background? He goes, well, I'm a member of the LDS Church, the Latter-day Saints. I'm a Mormon. And I'm like, inside I'm thinking, well, I'll be, You're a pretty great guy for a Mormon, is, what I was thinking. No, but it was just one of those moments where it was so clearly this gospel of like, look at this conversation. We have just so much in common, so much like under the tent of goodness and truth and beauty and desiring for the human person and family to flourish. And yeah, there's some theological differences that we could get into, but that's just not really important right there, right? Like Jesus, his response, it's reminding me of so often how my parents would say, you got to pick your battles, Patrick, got to pick your battles. Like in the battle that we have as Christians, in the battle of trying to affect the culture and win back the culture, there's a lot more people on our side who might not be in our pews, and we need those allies, right? It was Peter Kraft who said, when there's a madman at the door, feuding brothers reconcile. This is a pretty great line. That's us. That's what Jesus is getting at. Whoever's not against us is for us. Amen.